To God the Glory, Chapter 4, The Only Acceptable Sacrifice. The only sacrifice acceptable to Prime Creator from the days of my ministry to this present day has been, as I informed you, the sacrifice of a broken heart and a contrite spirit. From that day on, an offering of blood has been an abomination, though appointed anciently in symbology of my sacrifice upon the cross. In its appointed time, the symbol was fulfilled. The sacrifice for the symbol was appointed. For I came and fulfilled the ancient law. Thereafter, such sacrifices were forever ended and were no longer acceptable before the throne of God. Neither has a sacrifice of one's time, services, his wealth, and offerings been able to take the place of the appointed sacrifice henceforth required at the hand of man. Know this, beloved, the only complete acceptable sacrifice is the appointed one that our Mother Father hath ordained, even the sacrifice or offering of a contrite spirit and a broken or open, unsealed heart. This sacrificial offering alone involves the complete surrender of the self to me. It demands the sacrifice of your pride, your personal opinions, and your bigotry, your errors and mistakes. Yea, this is the only acceptable offering, the only sacrifice worthy of the fulfilled promise of my life, sacrificed upon the cross for you, even the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. This sacrifice of my life was the pattern that your own lives could be perfected. My life surrender portrays the offering of the little mortal self, the complete surrender of your misguided wills to the great and holy will of your Mother Father. This sacrifice that is required of you crucifies your selfish traits, your sensual lusts, and fulfills the utter surrender of even your pain and anguish and suffering and heartbreaks to me. Those who think they can serve me fully in any other way than by this appointed offering of a broken or breaking heart, unsealed heart, open heart, and in a spirit of humbled and subdued devotion are laboring in vain. This sacrifice is the complete surrender of your wills to the will of God. I will to will thy will, mighty I am presence, not my little will. My little will leads me on path astray. I follow the way, the truth, the light, the love. No high positions that feed your pride, no endless years of service, no tithes nor offerings, no filling of missions can fulfill the great law, nor provide the necessary sacrifice of acceptability. These services and offerings are minor contributions, though you give all your time and your talents, though often they will help you to find the way to offer up your broken hearts to me. They are not the fulfilling of the law. Of themselves they hold no power upon my altar, for these services are not the appointed offering ordained at the hand of my Mother Father. And until you have given the self or your personal will in complete and utter surrendering of the ego program mind is the virus of the 3D flip false matrix. Annihilate the ego in contriteness of spirit and your broken or opened hearts. Your works have no power or efficacy, and your sacrifices are mostly vain as far as the fulfilling of the law is concerned. Only the complete surrender of the self or your own will through the open heart and with a humble spirit can fulfill the required law of sacrifice and prepare you for your anointing of the divine light of Christ. The release of your broken hearts contains all the outpouring burdens of your past mistakes, your pride and your weaknesses and failures, and the complete and utter surrender of your immature, erring wills. When you beloved, have learned the power of this required sacrifice and abide by this sacred law, your mortal selves will step aside and you will be prepared to receive the divine anointing of light and the joy of my fullness. You will no longer be afflicted with the deadly eye, the lower eye, diseases that have blinded my children for ages, for you will be healed. Yea, my dearly beloved, you will become open channels through that my love can pour forth to help bless and heal a world. Please know this, my chosen and elect. The easiest, simplest way to get the right attitude to offer up your broken hearts is through a daily, hourly practice for the first and great commandment. For in it are all the keys of righteousness and the divine keys of fulfillment. The heart is softened through love and prayer, and its seal is broken, and it is opened wide to the full outpouring of my divine love. Then, expanding that great love to the soul that you might love with all the soul, brings a contriteness of spirit that is overwhelming. It brings with it the baptism of tenderness, compassion, forgiveness, and holiness. It is a surrender of soul that is bathed in tears, not tears filled with anguish and despair, nor tears fraught in desperate agony, yet the fruitful, life-giving, joyous tears of renewal and singing ecstasy, as all anguish and sorrow and despair is released unto Prime Creator. This is the surrender of your broken heart, that the love and light and glory of God's great love might take its place. Then this great love that is shed forth through your heart, diffusing your soul, penetrates and fills your mind. The blindness thereof will be removed, and you will begin to comprehend all things, even those great and mighty things that have been hidden from the foundation of the world. Yea, you will begin to have a part in their fulfillment, for they will be fulfilled in you. As you learn to stand in the light, you will be filled with light. Your great burden of self will be turned over to me, and being held in the flame of love, flowing forth from the center of your souls, it shall be reborn a new creature. Yea, it will be born of love and born of God. For so it is that the purifying flame of love, as it pours through your own open heart and contrite spirit, will purify your life and cleanse your soul. This inner flame removes the weaknesses, heals the errors, transforms the mistakes. The symbol of baptism is the symbol of this inner reality. The old laws are not broken by these greater truths. They are fulfilled in them. For he who fulfills that first great and holy commandment and the second is so like unto it, they are almost identical, will have fulfilled all the laws and kept all the commandments. For there is no law, or as my servant John proclaimed, they are no longer under the law. So be it, and it is so, it is done. Chapter 4 in its entirety.